Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Stock Market with your once a week analysis for the FTSE for the trading day dated Thursday, 5th of September. I'm recording this video now early on Friday morning, 6th of September, 20 to 8 a.m. in the morning London time before markets open for Friday. A quick recap of my monthly wave count for the FTSE. From this all-time high here to the downwards movement here, this subdivides nicely as a 5-wave impulse. This upwards movement subdivides nicely as a 3-wave zigzag, and this downwards movement subdivides best as a 5-wave impulse. So here we have a 5-3-5 zigzag structure, a corrective structure complete probably for cycle wave A. This upwards movement is either the start of a new bull market or, because of all the overlapping within it so far, also quite likely, probably more likely, to be a correction and part of a bigger structure, a big, huge, flat correction for a supercycle second wave. So we have a 3-wave structure for A, a 3-wave structure for B. When that's done, we'll need a 5-wave structure down for C. Depending on how high B goes, will tell us how low C should go. The target is 7103.67 or above. That's where cycle wave B would reach 105% the length of cycle wave A. If price gets up to that point, then we have an expanded flat unfolding, and we'll expect cycle wave C to most likely be 1.618 the length of cycle wave A. If cycle wave B fails to reach 7103.67, it'll be less than 105% the length of cycle A, and we'll have a regular flat unfolding at supercycle degree, which would expect cycle wave C to reach about equality in length with cycle A, most likely a little bit below this point, but not hugely significantly below this point. Let's have a look at the structure where the end of intermediate wave 3 within primary wave C up here is this point up here, so we have a 4th wave unfolding. From this high to this low, it subdivides best as a 5-wave impulse, so I expect that intermediate wave 4 was not over here, and this is just minor wave A of a zigzag for intermediate wave 4. Minor wave B is a completed zigzag. Minor wave C down needs to complete as a 5-wave motive structure, either a simple impulse or an ending diagonal. An ending diagonal requires all of the subwaves to subdivide as zigzags, and on the hourly chart, this first downwards movement, I just cannot see it as an impulse. It subdivides as a zigzag. So either we have a first wave leading diagonal unfolding, or, more likely, an expanding ending diagonal unfolding for minor wave C. We have 1 and 2 probably complete, and within 3 we have A, B moved higher during the last week. We need C to complete downwards for minute wave 3 of the ending diagonal. Within the zigzag for minute wave 3, minuet wave B may not move beyond the start of A above 6627.96. We'll expect minor wave C in its entirety to probably reach at least a little beyond the end of A to avoid a truncation, so we'll expect at least a little bit of movement below 6023, but intermediate wave 4 in its entirety may not move into intermediate wave 1 price territory below 5989.07. Let's have a look at the structure of the zigzag for minute wave 3 within this possible ending diagonal, where it starts up here, is this point up here. From this high to this low subdivides best as a 5-wave impulse. Last week I had this labelled as possibly minuet wave B over here. That's not the case. It's continued further sideways as a regular flat. This was just sub-minuet wave A within minuet wave B. This downwards movement subdivides nicely as a 3-wave zigzag, so this is wave B. It's over 90% the length of wave A, but it's less than 105% the length of wave A, so the flat is a regular flat, and here we have an ending expanding diagonal for sub-minuet wave C, where all of the subwaves are subdividing into zigzags, as they must for an ending diagonal. Now minuet wave B is much more likely to be over. It could continue further, but if it does, it's going to start to look quite out of proportion to minuet wave A. So I'm not expecting much movement above this point, but if it does continue higher, it can't move beyond the start of A above 6627.96. I'm expecting from here downwards movement for the next week for the FTSE as minuet wave C completes the zigzag for minute wave 3. At 6302, minuet wave C would reach equality in length with minuet wave A. We may see price find support at the lower edge of this channel, drawn using Elliott's technique for a correction. Draw it from the start of A to the end of B, place a copy on the end of A. I'm a bit more confident this week in saying we should see downwards movement from the FTSE for the next week. That's all for me today with your FTSE analysis, and I hope that everybody have a fabulous week.